Hello, everybody, and welcome to RBL Season 5, Week 1, Baltimore Ravias match against the Notre Dame Fighting Chesnaught, coached by Kevin, aka Kev, aka Clasped Frame 04. His team that he brought this week, Starmie, Skarmory, Lantern, Granbull, Curum, and Hitmontop. Not at all the team I expected him to bring. Very, very surprised to see this team. I definitely can still win, but it's going to be a bit harder. Looking at it, Sun was probably against this team. I don't think weather really, like which weather ran really made a huge difference, but looking at it, I feel like the thing he's going to lead off with is probably the Skarmory. So I'm going to lead off with the Heliolisk, predicting that. He's going to lead off with the Lantern. So I'm going to click Grass Knot, which does 0 damage because I'm super, super light, and he's going to do 30% with that. That was a mistake of mine. I should have just switched out. I should have actually thought about how Grass Knot works, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. Because Lantern is probably not that heavy, but I'm going to try to KO this thing with water types. Don't know what I honestly have no clue what I'm doing at this point. I should have set up the rain and then gone right into Venusaur, but I didn't. I wasn't thinking right off the bat in this match, and I think it was not a good thing. But he's going to Thunder Wave me, which is not good. But I'm going to knock off the leftover from the Skarmory because I know that's what he's going to go into at that point. I'm going to bring an Aggron because Aggron's the best thing, and he's going to have the Spikes, which is the worst thing. I wanted to avoid that. He gets him up. I'm going to bring in Heliolisk here, and I'm going to click Thunder, hoping it KOs. It doesn't. That's annoying. He's going to Earthquake. He's going to KO me. And there goes Heliolisk, which means Skarmory is the bigger problem now. I'm going to bring in Aggron. Don't know why I did this either. Just saw that he had Earthquake. I don't know if I outsped this thing or not, but I should have brought in Samurott or Entei and clicked Extreme Speed or Aqua Jet and guarantee that I outsped and KO'd because it wasn't going to live anything else. And then I would have, in this situation, been up against Lantern or Starmie rather than Hitmontop, which I could have dealt with better with Venusaur, and then if you want to bring in Hitmontop, I could deal with it. But he's an Aerial Ace, it's going to do a lot of damage. I'm going to bring in Politoed to get the rain back up, and I'm going to click Rest. I want to heal up. He's going to switch out. He's going to bring in Skarmory, which, whatever, I mean, another layer of Spikes. So I did a really bad job keeping those off the field. But I'm going to Sleep Talk. I'm going to Scald, which is nice, because that does a whole bunch of damage. I'm going to Psychic now from Sleep Talk. It's not going to KO. And he obviously is slower than me now, so obviously he didn't go for a move normally. He went for Whirlwind. I'm going to bring out Aggron, which gives me the opportunity to Head Smash. Head Smash was the best play at the point, because anything that he wanted to go into would not have wanted to take a Head Smash. So he's going to bring him on top. Don't want to deal with that. I'm going to go into Politoed. See what he wants to go for. He's just going to Bulldoze. I'm going to lose some speed. And here I make a mistake here. I didn't count my sleep turns enough, and I went for the Sleep Talk, and it didn't work because I wasn't asleep anymore because I had already slept for 2 turns. So I'm bringing Aggron here, expecting the Volt Switch. Does more than I would have liked it to, but Aggron is now at a percent where he can switch in on Spikes one more time, so I'm going to switch him out. Don't want to deal with that. Bring in Politoed, let Politoed go down to the Psychic, and do literally trying to have the craziest comeback of all time. Samurott has knockoff. I know I can live a hit from this Starmie. So I'm going to go for the knockoff, get rid of the choice specs on the Starmie, Aqua Jet, and KO because I got that nice Torrent boost. Maybe, I don't know if actually I'm in range. I'm not in range of a Torrent boost. What does Torrent boost even do anymore? When does it get to go? I don't know, but I'm going to superpower this thing. He's going to Volt Switch. I should have gone for the knockoff. I don't know what item it had, but I would have done so much more. And then I wouldn't have had the defense drop and the attack drop, and I could have done something that turn. But that priority, I'm going to bring in Entei. And I'm just going to click Sacred Fire because it'll do a lot of damage. It's the best move in that sense. But this is when it becomes something. All this run out. So he's going to go into the hit on top, and he's going to click a fake out or mock punch if he has mock punch. Aggron's going to come in, going to fake out, going to KO Aggron. I'm going to go into Entei now. And here's my last Pokemon, and this is where I have to make a decision, right? So, at this point, I either click Sacred Fire or I click Iron Head. They're the only two moves I can click. Sacred Fire will guarantee the KO on Hitmontop. It will not be an OHKO on Kyurem, and Kyurem will KO me. If I do that, I could get a crit, whatever, but that's not a guaranteed OHKO. Iron Head, depending on Hitmontop's spread, is not a guaranteed OHKO from this range either. But it's pretty likely that since this is an offensive Hitmontop, it probably won't be as bulky and defensive. So I can click that, which also won't OHKO Kyurem, but if I outspeed it, I have the flinch chance, which is better than what Sacred Fire gives me. So the only way I can win is if I outspeed the Kyurem, and I click Iron Head here. So I'm going to click Iron Head here. Hitmontop's going to Mach Punch me, which was not fun to find out, because that kind of doesn't help me, but also Kyurem would KO me regardless whether or not he clicked Mach Punch or not, and Kyurem ends up being scarfed and outspeeds. The only way that I won that is if Kyurem wasn't scarfed or just didn't outspeed, and I flinched it with an Iron Head, and then hit it with another Iron Head and won. That's the only way I would have won that match. At the end there, I made some mistakes. It wasn't the worst match I've ever played. I've played far worse, but it was nothing spectacular. This does unfortunately end my winning streak of winning the first game of the season every season for 3 straight seasons. It ends today. One more season. One season longer than it should have lasted. It should have ended last season. I should have won the first match last season, but I did because I am scum. But you win some, you lose some. This one was close, and my beginning of the match was absolutely atrocious. So could have been worse. And 1-0 loss week 1 isn't too bad, especially against someone who I have never played before and I don't know anything about how they play. It was nice. It was nice, even as a loss, because it was close, and that's always good. But I think that's all for this match. Next week we play the Australian Avalugs, coached by Zuvi Hacks. What a terrible human being. Anyway, in terms of his play style, but that match won't be fun. So that would be a great one. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to me. And I will see you guys next time. Adios.